What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video on the Texas Rangers report. And in this video, we're going to be going over the 3 Texas Rangers players that have gone off to a pretty fast start here in the 2022 season. But if this is your first time watching the Texas Rangers report, make sure to subscribe right now because I'm your #1 source for all things Texas Rangers related on YouTube. But also make sure to join the Discord because we talk Texas Rangers 24/7 there. We talk during Rangers games all the time there. That link will be in the description down below. So before we get into it, nice win by the Texas Rangers last night, taking the dub versus the Houston Astros 6-2. We got a nice start from Dane Dunning. It seems like he's really comfortable pitching in our home stadium. So that was a nice start from Dane. Hopefully he can continue to pitch like that moving forward, but also some timely hitting by the likes of Corey Seager, Nate Lowe, who I'll touch on later in this video, and Adolis Garcia, who he thought he hit a grand slam. If you look at the highlight video, or if you're watching, he thought he hit a grand slam. He tried to pimp it, but then he realized, oh no, it's not. So he hit a 3-run double, but good hitting. Hopefully we take the win tonight. Taylor Hearn on the mound versus Jake Odorizzi. Odorizzi was a good pitcher back in Minnesota. I think his best days are behind him, so I do think we have a good chance to win tonight. But getting this video started, the first guy on my list is Nate Lowe, one of the best hitters so far on the Texas Rangers squad this year. After a good performance last night, he has bumped his batting average up to .381, an OPS of .910. The thing is, he's gotten a lot of hits. A lot of them have been like line drives or like ground balls. We haven't really seen the power numbers. I do think that that'll come as we get further into the season, but it is nice to see this short early success. But I would like to see some more power numbers because I know he hits the ball hard. If you looked at his baseball savant last year, he was in the top percentile for average exit velocity and the 91st percentile for max exit velocity. I just think he needs to drive the ball more, and I think whenever he gets more time working with the new hitting coaches and Donnie Eckert and Tim Hires, I think that can start happening more, because remember, they only got like 3 weeks to really connect with the new coaches. So I think as we start getting into June and July, we could start seeing more power out of Nate Lowe. But I am happy to see him getting hits, getting on base, because that's what he does best. Would we see him bump up in the lineup? Because he's been batting basically 5th all year. That we could see that, but I do think that Chris Woodward is trying to just get a feel for all of his players right now, because it is still early in the season. Now, second on the list is catcher Jonah Heim. Obviously, this guy, I mean, it's an early season and he hasn't started every single game, so it's a small sample size. But in his short appearance, he's batting .360 with an OPS of 1,088. That's his OPS right now, and he has 2 home runs. That's tied for the most on the Texas Rangers so far. So in his limited appearances, he is already tying the Rangers in home runs. Obviously, Brad Miller's up there. I think Adolis Garcia is up there as well. So that just shows you the power that he has. And he's a switch hitter, and throughout his career, he's crushed left-handed pitching. Right now, we've been platooning him versus right-handed pitching, but I just think he's a better bat than the likes of Cole Calhoun and Ibanez. I think it would make more sense to get him in there more often than not. I do know that obviously that potentially exposes the Rangers. Say Mitch Garver gets hurt or Jonah Heim gets hurt, then who's gonna be the catcher? You know, you could call up Sam Huff. I just think that Jonah Heim has been playing really well whenever he's been in the lineup. He obviously has the power. That's why you trade Jose Trevino, but I just think he's contributing enough to where you almost have to get him into the lineup. But there is that risk. What if somebody gets hurt? We don't have a backup because they're in the lineup right now. But obviously, hopefully Mitch Garver gets going. But I do like what Jonah Heim provides, because Garver does have the injury history. You can play Garver at the DH and Jonah Heim at catcher. And honestly, I'm not really worrying that you're giving up anything with Jonah Heim at catcher. And what a trade this has turned out to be for the Rangers. We have Dane Acker, who is a promising prospect. He's still hurt, but the potential is there. And you have Jonah Heim. The thing about high school switch hitting catchers, they take a while to develop, and I think that Jonah Heim is just entering his prime. I'm really excited to see what he can do this year and into the future. And last but not least, the third guy on this list was also in a 3-team deal, in the Jerickson Profar deal, and that is Brock Burke. Brock Burke, we got in the Jerickson Profar deal in 2019. One of our top pitching prospects. I remember back in the time, we had a bunch of lefties. It was Taylor Hearn, Brock Burke, and Joe Palumbo. Palumbo is gone, and at the time, this offseason, it looked like Brock Burke was an easy candidate to DFA, but the Rangers still saw something in him, even after a terrible AAA season. Remember, he is coming off of a shoulder issue 2 seasons ago. That could be why he didn't pitch well in AAA last year, but the Rangers still believed in him, and now it is paying dividends for the Rangers, because out of the bullpen so far this season, in 7.2 innings pitched, he has a 2.35 ERA, a 1.17 WHIP, and 14 strikeouts. And if he didn't have that one bad outing this year, the numbers would look a lot better than what they are. And that's crazy to say, because those numbers look really good. But remember, Brock Burke came up as a starter in his career. So say the John Gray injury is a lot more significant than we think. Perhaps the Rangers could move him to try to stretch him out as a starter. I don't know if they would really do that, since he is coming off the injury, or maybe it would be a tandem of Matt Moore, Brock Burke. But it's just nice to see that we have a nice long reliever out of the bullpen. And if you think about it, the bullpen was really rocky to start the year off, but it actually has kind of come together the past few games in Seattle, in Oakland, and then versus Houston last night. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Is there anybody else that has gotten off to a fast start? If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, because I'm your #1 source for all things Texas Rangers related on YouTube. That being said, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.